In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to run a DESeq2 workflow on the Galaxy platform. So for those who don't know, DESeq2 is an R package that is used for differential expression analysis. And I've already covered a tutorial where I showed how to use the R environment to do this. So if you're interested, check the description box, you'll find a link to that video. So for this tutorial, you don't need to have R or any software installed on your PC. The only requirement is to have an internet connection and an internet browser. We are using the Galaxy platform here. So you should also make sure that you have created an account and you have signed in. The link to the Galaxy platform is in the description box. All right. So for the example data, I have it here. So don't worry, we'll look at it later. All right. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to reproduce this tutorial here. So just check the description box, you'll find a link to this page. So when you are here, scroll down to this section. Of course, try to read the introduction, especially if you're a beginner. So when you are here, you'll find some steps. For RNA Seq analysis, there are steps that I have to follow, and I've covered some of them, up to 5. So those ones are in separate videos. The links to those videos are in the description box. So I will start with number 6, that is analysis of the differential gene expression. So click it and you'll be sent to the section. Now, when you are here, the earlier instructions, the earlier parts of this tutorial, I've simplified them, so we will skip some of them. So in case the instructions I'm using, some of them, you find them different from what has been given here, don't worry. What I did was to try to simplify things so that you can reproduce this tutorial using your own data. All right, so let's proceed. So let's get back to the Galaxy platform, which is here. So after creating an account and logging in, come to this side, history, and then click on the plus button here. So click it, and then you'll be given a new history. So when you are here, edit it, and you can give it a name. So I'll just say DESeq2. You can use any name of your choice, that's also fine. So that's how I'll name mine. All right, so I have done that. All right, so what we need to do next is to import the data. All right, so for the importing, let's just check. Let's come to this side. If you want to upload data or import data, come to this side, the upload data, click it, and then you have this interface coming up. So for this tutorial, the example data that we are going to use, I have done a slight modification so they can be found on my GitHub repo here. All right, now with the Galaxy platform, you can import data without having to download them to your PC first. So you can use a link. And so come to this side, paste /fetch data. And then when you are here, you will paste the link to the files here. All right. So come to my repo here. The link to this repo is in the description box, by the way. Okay, so this is the example data, but I have prepared another file here, which is files.txt, which has the links to the files, which is this one. Again, I will leave the link to this file also in the description box. So when you visit that page, you have the links to the example data. So these are the data. You should have 8 files in total. So 7 of them are counts, and then the last one is the design. We will look at that later. So I want you to copy all the links and then come to Galaxy and then paste them there. And after that, click on Start. So when you click on Start, you have this progress coming up, and you should see it's 100%, and you can close it. All right. So once you do that, you should monitor this side here. So the background should turn green. So if it turns green, that means that the data has been successfully imported. That's what you should do. Now with the Galaxy platform, you can also use this other one, the EU one, let me show you first. So that one is here. This is it. This is the link. You can visit that page, and then you can also use that. All right, so any of them should be fine. So either you use this one or you use this one. When I was using the EU, I realized that that one was relatively faster than this one here. So you can try both and decide the one which is faster, and then you can use that. Okay, so that's what you need to know. So currently mine is being uploaded, so I'll wait for everything to get done for me. All right, so now we have imported the data, so we will proceed. Now let's do a quick exploration of the data. So I have it downloaded on my PC as well, so I would like you to look at something. Let's check. So these ones, those beginning with GSM, etc. So these are counts data, read counts. All right, so you can open with your spreadsheet software. Let me do that. I think that'll be much better. So I have the gen ID and then the counts, the read counts. Okay, these were generated using feature count, and I have a tutorial on that, by the way. So that is how the data is. And then we also have this one here, design underscore tax.tsv. So this one, let me do this. Yeah, it's open here. So this is how it looks like. All right, I did some processing. So this is the initial design, but what we are going to do, we need to put it in this format. Okay, so if you also have your own data for RNA-seq, you will have your experiment conditions or groups or factors, I mean, whatever you want to call it, but you are going to have your conditions, okay, or the groups. So for each of the samples here, where do they belong to? If let's say it's treatments, are they untreated or treated? So if let's say it was cancer or let's say tumor, yeah, so you will have the tumor and then we also have normal. Okay, in the case of let's say cancer stage, so you have your tumor, you have normal. So in this case, we have treated and untreated. Then we also have another condition here or another group, which is sequencing, which is SE and then P, single end and then paired end. Okay, so it is the information here that has been placed here, but in a different way. So that's why I have group untreated, group treated. So this one, for example, let me just do this. So this sample, for example, this is 182, right? When we come here, 182 is here. 182 is what for treatment, it is untreated. And then for sequencing is single and that's SE. So when we come here, that's what has been given here. So the group is untreated. And then there's another group which is single. So because we have two, that's why we also have these two columns also here. So if you're using your own data, just make sure to format it like this one. Alternatively, you have a challenge, you can still contact me and we can work it out. All right. So for this data, don't modify anything. Just make sure that it's the same as you download it. Because if you modify anything, then the program may not work or may not work as we expect it to work. So just make sure that that table is unmodified in any way. This one. The same goes to these other ones, the count data here. All right. Okay. So now we can get back to the Galaxy platform. All right. So let's proceed. So we'll do this. Let's start with this side here. So the session really shows how to import the data. There is an activity we have to perform. So it says we have to create a data set collection. We need to do that. So we will do that first. So when we are here, we will create a data set collection that combines all of these files, the count data, not this one. Number 8 is not parts from 1 to 7. So come to this side where you have this check. Click it. then you have this coming up. So here select just the count data. Okay, there are 7 of them. Okay, this one is not passed, just these ones. All right, and after that, come to this side. So you see 7 of 8 selected. So there's a small arrow here, click it, and then come to build dataset list. So click it, and then you have this coming up. So here, come to this side, enter a name for your new collection. So give it a name. I will say counts. You can use any name of your choice. That's also fine. So that one, it depends on what you want. So this is it. So counts, and then click on create collection. All right. So click create collection, and then you will have everything here. So when you click this one, you find the files. Okay. So that's what we need to do. All right. So after generating the dataset collection, we also need to use the tag elements utility. So from here, from this session, scroll down a bit to this side here. So here we are going to skip this, and then this, and then use this one here. Okay, so everything here has been done, and that is why we have this design underscore tags.tsv data. So we will use this one. So we just come to this side here. So tag elements. All right. So to do that, we need to call that utility. So we will say tag elements. So this is it. So click it, and then you have this coming up. So when you are here, input collection will be this one. If it's not selected, click and select it, and then when you come to the tag collection elements according to this file, you select the design underscore tags.tsv. So if it's not selected, you select it. So that is it. After that, you can run the tool. So let's run the tool now. So this will map the labels to the files, and then the counts. So we just have to wait for everything to get done for us. All right, so the data set has been tagged. So that's what we have here. All right, so we can proceed. So we can now run the DESeq2. So come to the tutorial page and then scroll down, and you'll find the instructions here. So with DESeq2, we have to specify factors. So for this tutorial, we will need to specify 2 factors: treatment and then sequencing. Remember when we took a look at the data, we had this and this. Let's look at the original design here. So we have this and then this. So these are the factors. So for each of the samples, when it comes to treatment, either the sample belongs to untreated or treated. Sequencing, single end or paired end. All right. So these are the factors, this and then this. So that is what we are going to specify when we run DESeq2. All right. We also need to indicate some information here. We will do everything, but in general, this is what we are supposed to do. So let's get back to the Galaxy page here, the platform, and then let's call DESeq2. So come to the left side here, and then type DESeq2, and then to come up, this is it. So click it, and once you have clicked it, you will have this coming up. So now we can proceed. So when you are here, select dataset per level, click it, and then rather select this one here. Select group tags corresponding to levels. So click it, and then you have this coming up. Okay, so this one here, the count file collection, will be the output for the tag element utility we use. So that is what I have here. This is it. All right. Now, once you are done with this, you come to insert factor. So this is where this one's coming. So We will start with the first one. So click on insert factor, and then the factor name, we will say treatment, because that is the main factor of interest. So that one comes first. And then we come to insert factor level. So we will insert 2 levels, because under treatment, we have untreated and then treated. So we have to also specify them. So we have them here. So we have treated, the tax is treat, and then untreated, the tax is untreat. We will do that here. So first factor level, we come here, click it, that's the name, and then we say treated. Let's just confirm the name first. So that is treated. Yeah. And then when you come to this side where we have the select groups, click it, and then you select treats. That is its tag. Okay, just the one treats. And then come to insert factor level. That's the second one. Click it. So the second one is untreated. So you have to give it the name. So it's untreated. And then when you come to this side, the tag, you use untreats. All right, that's it. Let's just confirm. So we have treated, untreated. That's this. And then we will try, what we will try, we will proceed to insert another factor. We are done with the first factor. This is the second factor. So here, if you have just one factor, then that's all you need. But here we have 2 factors. That's why we are indicating 2. But if you have just one, then that's it. So here we will insert the second factor. So click insert factor, and then the factor name will be sequencing. So we say sequencing, and then let's check. So for sequencing, we have PE and then SE. All right, so we start with the PE. So we insert factor level, and then the first one is PE. So we indicate the name PE. Then when you come to tax, it's what? PED. Next factor level will be SE. So we enter it. So that's SE. And then it's what? Single. All right, so we are done with the entries. Now, what else do we need to specify? It says files have header. Yes, so we need to indicate that. So, and then choice of input data, we have to indicate this. And then the output options, we indicate this one. We specify this one. Let's do all of them here. So that will be this one here. So files have header should be yes. Choice of input data should be this one. Count data, etc counts, feature counts, string style, etc. Then we come to output options. We make sure we select this one here. Generate plot for visualizing the analysis results. So we make sure we check it. And then that's basically it. All other options, that one you have to decide what you want and then you can select. But for now, we are following this tutorial. We are going strictly according to the instructions here. So we will leave everything as it is. So now we can run the tool. So click the run tool and then wait for everything to get done for you. In case your job gets queued for a considerable time, then you can use the Europe Galaxy platform, which is here. That one, I found it to be relatively faster. Maybe the workload here is less than this one here. So if there is a delay here, just try with the Galaxy Europe server, and then that hopefully should be faster for you. Okay, DESeq2 has completed its work. So 2 output files will be generated. So those ones are here. They will also have a background of green. That means the job has been completed. So this is the first one, that's the DESeq2 results file. And then we also have a PDF file which has the plot. So that one is DESeq2 plots on so and so. I'll download both. So I'll start with this one, the DESeq2 result file, which is number 18 on my system. So to download, just click it and then come to this side and then click on this save icon. So click it and then you'll be asked to save it. So I'll save it on my PC. I'll leave it with the default name, but you can always rename it yourself. So, but I'll leave it as it is. And then I'll also download this one, the plots. So I'll click it and then download. Then I'll save it. So depending on your browser, you can have the situation where the file will be downloaded and it will also be displayed for you. If it's not downloaded, once it's displayed, you can just come to this side and then download. So whichever way, you will still get access to the file. So that's fine. All right. So I'll go and then check the files out on my system. All right. So these are the files. So this is the DESeq2 result file. So you see this extension .tabular. So this one, you can open it with any spreadsheet software. And so that's what I'll do. I'll open it with my spreadsheet software. Let's just check it here. Okay, so this is the DESeq2 result file. So a description has also been given here. Let's check. So when you come to this side, scroll down a bit, a description is here. That is a summary for the DESeq2 result file. So it gives everything here. So this is how you'll be able to get the headers or columns. By default, the columns are not displayed, or let me say they are excluded, but you can add it. I have a sample here. Let me show you. So this is an example of the DESeq2 summary file with the headers. So when you run DESeq2 in the R environment, you get this, but in the Galaxy tutorial page, this is what you get. So you can just use the description here to create the headers. So that's how we do it. Okay, so that is the DESeq2 output. Okay, the summary file. Let's take a look at the PDF. That's the plots. So this is it. I'll open it. Yeah, so we have the plots. So with the plots, we have some here. So one of them is the PCA plots, and we also have the heat map here, which is the sample to sample distance. We also have, let's check, we also have histogram of p values for treatments. So there's the main factor, by the way. We also have the dispersion estimates. So these are the plots, and we also have MA plots. So in total, we have 5 plots here. So the PCA plots, the sample to sample distance matrix, which is represented as a heat map. We also have the dispersion estimates. We also have histogram of p-values for treatment. That's the main factor. We specify 2 factors, but this is the main one. And we also have MA plots. Yeah, and I've explained these plots in my previous tutorial, and explanations can also be found on the Galaxy tutorial page here. So I will encourage you to check the discussions that has been given here, all the discussions, and then take a look at the questions and answers. I repeat, I will suggest you take a look at the discussions here on this Galaxy tutorial page. Also take a look at the questions and answers, and then read more about it. So as a beginner especially, it's going to be very helpful for you to understand the RNA Seq analysis workflow, and then use that to understand your data and then answer your biological questions. So what we've done is the first episode of the DESeq2 tutorial on Galaxy. And so in the next episode, I'll be looking at this side here, this section here, up to the end. That will be the part 2 of this tutorial. So just make sure to come back to this channel and then watch that as well. And if you're also interested in the DESeq tutorial where I showed how to do that in R, then you can check the video here. And if you also want more RNA Seq tutorials, this playlist here will also be helpful. So check all of them and then learn more.